go tell me, so be Anna, whenever, he go tell me. If you see mommy water, never you run away. Yeah, yeah, sing that song of love with the wife. Samila, let's go. Yeah, we're doing some highlife music for the highlife lovers in the house, for the mature minds. All back and talk by
My Mike Ozekhome, Barrister Mike Ozekhome. We salute the children of the Celebrant who have all gathered here today. Ranking members of the National Assembly here present, serving and former members of the National Assembly here present, representatives of governors who have arrived here today, we welcome you. Members of the Federal Executive Council, former ministers here present, justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and justices of other superior courts, esteemed traditional rulers here present, and we have the honor of welcoming with us His Royal Majesty Dr. Benjamin Ikechukwu, Secretary, Southern Traditional Rulers Council, Dean of Agbo, His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. Cletus Ilumwanya, Obi of Obiningunu, Chancellor Special of the Federal University, Birnin Kebbi, Chairman, Imo State Elders Council. We also have the representative of the Sultan of Sokoto, who has also joined us here. We appreciate you. We thank you for coming. Would like to respectfully greet all other esteemed traditional rulers here present. Our book reviewer, Chief Wale Olanikpekun, our book presenters, chairman of boards here present, with special reference to Major General Tafa, who is chairman of the Northeast Development Commission, and other board chairmen here present, heads of government and extra ministerial departments, members of the academia, captains of industry, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the international community here present, sponsors and supporters, faith leaders, community leaders, family and friends, very distinguished invited guests, members of the media who are here. We are live on AIT, so please take your positions. Distinguished invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eugenia Abu. I'm a multimedia expert and also a national broadcaster, and I shall be your guide today. But I'm not working alone. I'm working with Habib, a gentleman, a lawyer, and one man whose MC is rising on a daily basis. Please help me salute Habib, who is working with me today. I'm aware that we also have a former Inspector General of Police and members of the security apparatchik here. We greet and salute and welcome them. Birthdays are often celebrated with loud noises and parties, if you can afford it. But the mind of an intellectual and a senior advocate of Nigeria is not at rest until he has deployed his cerebral arsenal for the good of humanity. Such a man is Professor Mike Ozekhome Ozekhome, who decided from his trenchant mind to delight Nigeria with a collection of 50 books today, a true man of letters, a distinguished Nigerian, and a learned gentleman. And why not? A different kind of birthday celebration, a serving of his incandescent mind. Today, he's a year older. In fact, he's 67. And we are here to celebrate with a man who has built bridges across Nigeria, making friends, learning from the best, and being loyal to leaders, seniors, contemporaries, and subordinates alike. A patriot, a father, a husband, teacher, legal scholar of the finest kind, human rights activist, academic, multiple author, community leader. Today, we celebrate a much-loved Esako son. Here stands Professor Mike Ozekhome, Ozekhome, SAN, a man worthy of celebration. Happy birthday and congratulations. A round of applause for him. We have just received Excellency Jonah Jang, former governor of Plateau State, who has arrived to join us for this celebration. It is at this point, as we greet and welcome everyone, and I'd like to specially mention Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora, Kayayan Serkim Muslumi, representative of His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is amongst our traditional rulers here today. We shall recognize as we keep receiving the names. In the meantime, it's time to invite a man worthy of his title, our very, very distinguished individual, who we would ask to come and say a prayer for us before this event kicks off properly. I'd like to ask Habib to please do the honors. Habib?
Thank you so much, the iconic Mrs. Eugenia Abu. Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Eugenia Abu, please. Please, a round of applause.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's difficult to find a man who, having led Nigeria, continues to be relevant in his space, in his community, and working so hard to ensure that a library worthy of his name is in his space. This gentleman, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, showed us that in spite of his age, he's still agile, he's still distinguished, he's still cerebral. Help me welcome former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman of this occasion, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, as he delivers his opening remarks. As it is with the former president, he has a battery of top-level persons, including Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, His Excellency, who is his escort to the podium. Let's give a round of applause to a man who knows what time it is.
Your Majesties, your Royal Highnesses, members of the National Assembly that are here, members of State Assembly, members of the National Executive Council that are here, members of the State Assembly, State Executives that are here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by congratulating Mike and his family, but particularly his wife, for this occasion. When I accepted Mike's invitation to write a tribute and to also make a statement in a video. I thought my job was done. I didn't realize that he will ask me to be chairman, because when I realized that my brother and colleague, President Goodluck Jonathan, was coming, I thought he will be made the chairman of this occasion. But when I was called, then I decided we have got 2 chairmen for this occasion. So we are co-chair. But before I give President Jonathan the opportunity to say his statement as a co-chair, I have 2 or 3 words to describe Mike. And the first one is that he's an extraordinary man. Extraordinary man. And I thought I would live by that until yesterday I was out. And when I was coming back home, a friend of mine called and said, "Where will you be tomorrow?" And I said, "Tomorrow I will be attending a double ceremony for a friend who is celebrating his birthday and who also at the same time is presenting 50 books." And he said, "Who is that friend?" I mentioned his name, Mike. Oh, and his reaction was, "Oh, he's one of those radicals." So I thought that, well, I have said this man is an extraordinary man. When my friend said he's one of those radicals, I did not know what to say. So when I got home, I took my dictionary, because I don't know whether I will want to tell Mike that he has been described as a radical, or whether I will not. So I took my dictionary, and of course, dictionary never lies. It will tell you. So I look at the word radical, and it says, a person who advocates thorough or complete political or social change. Ah, I like that. So I said, well, look, I will add that to my description of Mike. Mike is a person, and I also add a little bit of mine to the dictionary definition. So I now read it out to you, what I put down. Mike is a person who advocates thorough or complete political or social change with conviction, courage, and integrity. And that is the man that we have come to honor. Mike, happy birthday and more grace to your elbow.
You can go, sir.
I'm not going.
Thank you, Your Excellency. In fact, President Obasanjo described me as his younger brother. He's my father, not his younger brother. And he's somebody I admire so much, even before I got into politics. So thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. You have brought me to speak at this time. I would have been made to speak maybe towards the last. And you have now upgraded me.
The earlier the better.
You have upgraded me to be a co-chair. Thank you so much. So as a co-chair, the chairman has already said what we should say. I wouldn't want to belabor the issues. And more so, like President Obasanjo said, I wrote the foreword of one of the books. And I also made the brief remarks in the video that maybe they will play on the multimedia, so on. So I may not even want to talk about mine because I made some statements, especially on the video. But looking at the titles of the 50 books, then you realize that mine is more than even being a radical. Because if you look at the various titles, cut across almost all spheres of life, political science, law, history, biography, philosophy, health, etc., etc. He's writing like the philosophers of old, in those days when knowledge was not compartmentalized. And one philosopher can talk across a sphere of knowledge, and that is mine. We thank God for creating people like you that can educate our children and continue to do your work. Well, because Mike is a very senior lawyer, so I know so many senior lawyers are here, both at the bar and the bench. So in such occasions, we only use such platforms to plead, especially those of us who are into the political environment, that the way things are going in this country, especially listening to the judgments being given regarding political cases, which Papa will not want to go in, but I can go in. We are beginning to see that democracy in Nigeria is like a cone that is being turned upside down. And if a cone, and you turn it upside down, and the top that's supposed to be big, even if it's little roundish, and you manage to stand it, it cannot be so stable. The slightest perturbation, it will fall. And when I listen to senior lawyers like Olusegun Obasanjo, who was making comments on some Supreme Court judgments, I felt very sad that the country has got into that level. I plea that if democracy will endure, the people both at the back and the bench should not be carried away by political influence. That is the only way. And that is the only way we can stabilize the political process. I know the lawyers enjoy, during middle after election, the avalanche of litigation because it's like Christmas for lawyers. But most countries don't go that way. People don't go to court. But in Nigeria, pre-election matters, election matters. Fill all the courts. And this does not give a good sign for democracy. Comparing Nigeria to other African countries and some of countries outside Africa that have been able to get involved in the electoral processes. So to me, it worries me. In fact, towards the end of this month, I'll be going to Botswana. I want to go and see what others do. And you come back home and see what we do. It worries us. There is a particular judgment that has been haunting, and I need to mention that, luckily I'm not a lawyer, I'm saying that from a layman view. Most very senior lawyers are here, that really turn the cone upside down. And if the courts don't really look into this and rectify it, it will create so much instability in the political system that it will affect all of us. Even those who claim to have succeeded, their victory song will not last long, because we will all be victims. Where the court say a ward chairman can expel a national chairman of a political party. This is not in line with natural justice. The law is to control human behavior, and human behavior must follow how God created systems. And you cannot tell me that the head of department, for example, in a university, can expel the vice chancellor. So how can the Nigerian law tell me that a ward chairman can expel a national officer of a political party? And since that judgment has been given, it has created all kinds of instability in the party. In fact, PDP is into crisis because of that. APC at the time was also into crisis because of that judgment. And I'm not looking at it from a legal perspective because I don't know anything about the law. But when I look at how nature works, I have never seen a system where a sub-unit can discipline the top. For PDP exactly, of course, Baba knows, in the constitution of PDP, if you're a national officer, even your state cannot discipline you. Not talk about a ward officers that are not even members of NEC, the National Executive Council. And we are saying that a ward chairman of a party can suspend and expel a national chairman of a political party. I'm pleading with the Supreme Court to review that their judgment. Because that judgment has turned the cone upside down. And the political processes, the democracy is wobbling. I don't want to go more, but let me just use this as an example. Papa, thank you for bringing me. Let me join you to congratulate Mike Ozekhome, the wife, and the family for this 67th birthday celebration. And let me also, as a co-chair that I've been promoted to, thank all of you for coming to celebrate this family and celebrate this man that has made significant impact in the growth of Nigeria, especially his struggles for good governance and the political leadership. I thank you all.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for the comment you made about political judgment, and you said I wouldn't say anything yet because there's much to say and there's not yet time for it. Thank you.
Please a round of applause for our living heroes.
I would like to invite Habib to do the honors of inviting a legal juggernaut who would be reviewing these 50 books.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Junior Abu. Ms. Abu, for some reason, is actually namesake with the Celebrant. He also has Abu in his name. All right, so we are getting to the meat of this very important occasion. Chief Mike Ozekhome will not just do anything, even his birthday, except that it is cerebral. And today he is privileged to have with us Chief Wole Olanipekun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Chief Olanipekun is a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association. That is the biggest and largest bar association anywhere in Africa. Please, a round of applause. All the lawyers in the house should please clap. That's the association. Thank you. And incidentally, he served as the president of the bar when the chairman of this occasion, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, was the president of the nation. So he's well seated. Chief Wole Olanipekun is the former chairman of the Body of Ventures. Some conversation is ongoing there. He has dedicated his entire life to the most noble of profession, the legal profession. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria of repute. And I will say he has a record that many of us do not have, or many people do not have. I believe he is the only living father of not one, but two other senior advocates of Nigeria. Chief Olanipekun continues to lead the legal profession from the front. He is literally called chief by all of us, and he is the chief of this legal profession of ours. Please make welcome Chief Wole Olanipekun, CONSAN, as he reviews these 50 books. Please, another round of applause for him. Thank you. You see all senior advocates of Nigeria in the room, and I can assure you all lawyers will be standing behind their chief. This is the chief of this profession.
May I be permitted to stand, adopt, embrace the protocols ably laid down by the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And without prejudice to that, sir, may I appreciate you, may I salute you. The question was asked whether there were clashes as between my humble self and your giant self when I was the president of the Nigerian Bar Association. And I said there were so many. Former President Jonathan and former First Lady, I recognize you, I respect you, I salute you, without being immodest, to say that my former client too. As we had it, co-chairmen, we have also co-reviewers. Copies. We are given an insight into the books and into the works, and we are given all the titles, and you have also seen them. We are already on item number 2, and we have given all the titles: good governance, law, democracy, then the methodology. The methodology is for us to group them into 10, and we start with constitutionalism. Ozekhome's writings on constitutional law are among his most impactful contributions. When we go to separation of powers is so important to any democracy. You have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And former President Jonathan said something about the judiciary when he was making his remarks. But they know the doctrine of democracy has been there. Montesquieu, that French philosopher, he said, no, we are talking of power. Power corrupts, Lord Atkins. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You can't have all powers vested in one person. Even God, who is the omnipotent, the immortal, the invisible, he decided even to share his powers. You have the angels, you have the archangels, you have the Holy Spirit of God, you have the elders of heaven. So you can't have every power, all powers, concentrated in one person. Then about anti-corruption. Here what my brother is saying is, it's a critical examination of Nigeria's anti-corruption efforts. We want to appreciate President Olusegun Obasanjo for the establishment of EFCC and ICPC. Leadership and personal development. Leadership is another signal theme in the Ozekhome's body of work. Through the work titled Leadership by Example, he expresses his conviction that true leadership is about setting a positive example for others to follow. Then we go to politics and governance. His works on politics and governance democracy or democracy, provide critical analysis of the political landscape in Nigeria. And its Nigerian project, past, present, and present, offers a broader perspective on Nigeria's political evolution. Then statecraft, international affairs. Ozekhome's reflections on statecraft and Nigeria's role in the international arena are captured in words such as Nigeria in World Affairs, the world at Nigeria's feet. Let us go to democracy. What he says about democracy is very eloquent, very succulent, very captivating. Then nation building and contemporary discourse. The author is no doubt a true lover of our nation, and the patriot shows his understanding of our nation and its underpinnings in Nigeria's evolution and its political players. Then we go to demystifying the coronavirus. In demystifying the coronavirus, Ozekhome in his characteristic nature chooses to not just ask questions, but seeks to find answers to one of the greatest health challenges faced by humanity throughout history. And this is also a demonstration that a lawyer is just not compartmentalized into the legal cocoons, but is learned and learned indeed. Academics and honors the law of personal property in Nigeria, which we recommend to others. Now I'm going to the conclusion because I have just 15 minutes. Immediately, Mike Ozekhome, a leading legal and jurisprudential personnel, foisted on me in the Herculean task of reviewing these books. My mind went straight toward William Blackstone, what he did. Between 1776 and 1779, his works on the laws of England. The works are divided into 4 volumes. Volume 1 is devoted to the rights of persons. Volume 2 deals with the rights of things. Volume 3 treats private wrongs. Volume 4 devoted to public wrongs. Through these works, Blackstone not only impacted the legal framework of England, but also of the entire Commonwealth. To me, Ozekhome, like Blackstone, and through these works, is impacting the Nigerian jurisprudential, political, economic, infrastructural landscape. I want to classify his works into 4, just like Blackstone did. The rights and expectations of persons who are citizens under the Constitution and the law, the duties imposed on and expected of the government at all tiers, including those in positions of leadership across board, private wrongs which stand unaddressed, and public wrongs which continue unabated. These 4 classifications encompass the very essence, importance, and significance of the magnum opus put together by this legal luminary, cerebral jurist, high-flying scholar, borrowing from the philosophical words of Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Karl Marx, and their tribe, tapping from the jurisprudential tapestries of Roscoe-Pound, Barron, Dicey, Benson, K.C. Wells, T.O.S. Elias, and other great minds in that realm, and espousing his deep knowledge of literature, economics, religion, politics, government law, and contemporary issues. Ozekhome has creatively submitted for public consumption these epochal books, which will, no doubt, agitate, stimulate, scintillate, nourish, and alert our collective spirit, psyche, and consciousness in all areas of our national endeavors. To my mind, he is beckoning us to, like it happened in Great Britain in 2015, enact our own Magna Carta. Now, to my former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, you said something about judgments. What Nigeria lacks That is what Ozekhome is asking us to do. It's an agitation. Some people will say there is nothing wrong with the Nigerian Constitution. A lot is wrong with the Constitution. Some people will argue. Please, can we have some silence? We are running up, and this is very, very important. It's the very essence of the works of Ozekhome. What is the theme? What is the thrust? What is he up to? It's casting us that in this country, we must, like Britain did, have our own charter of justice, of equity, of fairness, of good governance, just like Britain had in Magna Carta. We don't have it. Nobody is thinking about it. Nobody is toying with it. Everybody wants to run away from it. And not until we have it, we'll continue to have some problems. In Magna Carta, it is stated clearly, even in respect of the judiciary, to no one shall we set judgment, to no one shall we deny justice. Since then, things changed in Great Britain. Now, the essence of all this gentleman is doing is that Nigeria must have a charter. A charter for equity, a charter for government, a charter for justice. I recommend this brilliant, scholarly, beautiful, alluring, scintillating, delightful, and captivating collections to all and sundry, while saluting the intellectual sagacity, prolific dexterity, and patriotic zeal of the author, who is my dearly beloved brother. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause for Chief Wole Oladipekun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CON, for that very wonderful review of 50 books in 15 minutes.
And of course, our co-chair, the former president, the very affable man of letters, himself an author, a peace broker across the Africa sub-region, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. We celebrate you, sir. We welcome you. And he's here with his lovely wife, Dame Patience Jonathan. We thank you for your presence. But the documentary speaks volumes and tells you really the essence of the man whom we celebrate today. Professor Mike Ozekhome is a very proud Esako man. Edo man. Okay, oh, sorry. Very proud Edo man. I take correction. And I'm told by his first daughter that they don't speak English in the house. They don't speak English. It's either you are speaking the language or you can find another house. Abi madam. That is the position. Today that our children oftentimes consider that the language from elsewhere is their language, and they do not understand their culture, and they do not understand their languages, their ethnic languages, it is fitting and very, very, very ennobling that Professor Mike Ozekhome will insist in his home that they speak only the language. And I would like to celebrate him for that, because we don't have that going on often. We thank you, sir. I would like at this point to welcome and greet Chief Allen Onyema, Chairman, Air Peace, or his representative. I haven't seen him, but I know him. He's married to my sister, so he's my in-law, but I haven't seen him. I'd also like to greet Chief Obinna Iegu, popularly known as Obi Kubana, who is in the room with us, an entrepreneur and a social engineer. We welcome him into the room. Welcome. In the meantime, what we forgot to mention in that documentary, because I'm a producer, is that Professor Mike Ozekhome is a fashion-forward individual. The man in fashion, no be here. If he wants to be traditional, he's complete with a cap to match that is made only for him. If he wants to go English, it is complete. And then he adds, one of my favorite individuals who has now passed, Chief Gamaliel Onosode's side part. Please, let's give a round of applause to the fashion-forward celebrant today. He's truly a fashionista. It's not mentioned. It would be nice to know who makes his cap, who makes his clothes, where he shops from. And when they do the documentary, please don't forget to add that to it, because it will be of great interest to a person like me. Having said that, permit me to invite Habib, wherever he is in the hall, to quickly come forward and do a couple of recognitions, and immediately after that, we're going straight to the book presentation. As we know, our chairman would like to fast track this event, and at this point, the recognitions we have, Habib has them, and then we'll do the presentations. There you go.
Thank you so much, Chief. I was going to call you Chief, ma'am. Chief Eugenia Abu, Senior Advocate of Broadcasting. Thank you. Well, we have with us Senior Advocates of Nigeria, Chairman Body of Benchers, whose wife is also a Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and his lovable wife. Please, you are most welcome, the Chairman of the Body of Benchers. We also have with us Chief Charles Edosowan, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. You are most welcome, Lenel Sok. And so, when the documentary was being played, Chief Mike Ozekhome was referred to as the Akpakpa, okay, this is strong. Akpakpa Vigi Vigi of Edoland. He is somebody whose traditional institution is very dear to him. As the documentary says, he has been awarded more than 300 times, from the Hague in Switzerland to his village in Iviukwe in Edo State. But the one that he is most fond of is Akpakpa Vigi Vigi of Edoland. This title was jointly conferred on him at Ekpoma on March 2, 2002, by all the 72 traditional rulers of Edo State, a feat never achieved before by any person. Please, a round of applause for him. And I'm wondering, for the non-Edo guests that we have today, that you'll be wondering what the meaning of Akpakpa Vigi Vigi means. You actually do not necessarily need to know the meaning of that title. By the way it sounds, I'm sure that you can imagine that it's a very heavy title meant only for the most distinguished of personalities. But if you will pay me, I will tell you, later I will send my invoice, that it means the Generalissimo and Commander of the traditional armed forces of the powerful people of Edo State. Please, a round of applause for him. Yes. So please, I would like to call on Mrs. Junior Abu for the meat of this program, the presentation of the 50 books, and of course, the launching of these very wonderful works. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Habib. Okay. If you go into check-in and you Google, you are going to find that the last person who was this prolific, the last set of books that were launched in Nigeria that were plenty like this was 32. Today, somebody has beat that record, and that person is Professor Mike Ozekhome with 50 books. I shall now invite those who are going to do the honors of presenting these books, and they will be led, of course, by our chairman. But I'm going to go about it this way. Our respected chairmen, their excellencies, will remain seated. Everybody else will go there before they leave to join them. That's how it's going to be. So here is the list that I have. Of course, our chairman would go there. We have our chief presenter, Prince Arthur Eze, We have Chief Engineer Okwosa, co-presenter. We have Mr. Dumebi Kachiku. We have Hajiabola Shagaya. We have J.B. Daudu. We have Chief Igbinedion, Pastor Osazwa, Chief Richard Okozi, Chief Mike Ozekhome. We also have on this list Chief Obi Kubana, Chief Kanu Agabi, Senator Francis Aimikena, and Senator Osita Ezona So. These gentlemen and women will go over there. Please let it be noted that Her Excellency Dame Patience Jonathan will join her husband when he goes up there. But at the moment, both our chairmen, His Excellency Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will remain seated while the author and the 67-year-old birthday boy will lead everybody, to include his wife, as the numero uno, as they go forward to present this book to the public. And she would make her way along with her husband. Again, we call on Priest Arthur Eze, Chief Engineer Okwosa, Mr. Dumebi Kachuku, Hajiabola Shagaya, J.B. Daudu, Chief Igbinedion, Pastor Sazwa, Chief Richard Okozi, Chief Mike Ozekhome, Chief Wale Olani Pakun, Pastor Sazwa, Chief Richard Okozi, Chief Mike Ozekhome, Chief Kanu Agabi, Senator Francis Aimikena, Senator Sita Izunasu, and all our traditional rulers in the house. All our esteemed traditional rulers in the house will make their way, please, sirs. Can we make way for our traditional rulers in the house? Our traditional rulers would make their way to this book presentation, and the right flank will be left for our traditional rulers. The right flank will be left for our traditional rulers. Please ensure that the right flank is free. I'd like to call on the ushers to move the speaker so that our traditional rulers will make themselves comfortable on this side. Call a man. Here, sir. Oh, no, sir. You have to go around. Oh, no, sir. Our traditional rulers are on this side. Call the men. Excuse me. The men have to move the speaker. The men. Your Royal Highnesses, please be patient so that they can create the pathway for you to stand here. Could you please move this? Keep moving, sir. Keep moving. Keep moving, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oba, this is where you would be, sir. You would flank His Royal Highness. Thank you very much, sir. You would be. Thank you very much. This is where our traditional rulers will be. Can we please move slightly over there so we can create some space on this side? A little bit to your right, so that our traditional rulers will be comfortable on the right side. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much indeed. It is at this point that I would like, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, Chairman of the occasion, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and co-chair of the occasion, His Excellency, former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, and Her Excellency Dame Patience Jonathan, to make their way. They would be standing beside Professor Ozekhome, and we will part ways when they make their way. I'd like to please encourage our cameramen and journalists to create the pathway for the former presidents who will make their way round this table. Please create the pathway, enough pathway for them to pass. We have created this space for them. Allow them to make their way. Create enough space for them to pass. Thank you so very much. If you step back a little, their excellencies will tuck themselves in between and be standing beside Professor Ozekhome. Thank you very much. Madam, can you flank your husband on the right? No, on his right. On his right. Thank you very much. So that their excellencies would be here. Mr. Peter Obi, presidential candidate of LP, has also joined expectedly. And we have President Obasanjo, Governor of Plateau State, former governor, His Excellency Jonah Jang. This is the picture. You need to put your head behind the Odain so they can see you. There you go. This is the photograph of the day for this book presentation. And we would be expecting that the cover of the book will be slowly pulled by their excellencies and the author. The cover will be slowly pulled. The ushers will give a hand by helping us to unveil the books. And so at the count of 6, because he's 67, we count from 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unveil. Slowly lift the covers and drop them down.
If you see mommy water, never, never you run away. Yeah, yeah. Sing that song of love with wife. Samila, let's go. Yeah, we're doing some highlife music for the highlife lovers in the house, for the mature minds.
Thank you. We have, please. We now have the presentation. We have done the, what is this? We have done the unveiling. Prince Arthur Eze, who is representing him? Arthur Eze.
Then
Chief Okosa, or his representative. Chief Okosa.
Okay, good day, sir. Unfortunately, Chief Okosa couldn't make it, but he has asked me to represent him. And what he is going to use to unveil it, he'll rather keep it confidential. Thank you very much.
Confidential. Maybe. Chief, maybe.
I will present one of the books, or 50 of the books written by a man I also call father, a legal activist of over 40 years. I'll present these books with a sum of 2 million naira for each book, making a total sum of 100 million naira.
I see Christusha there. On behalf of the Body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria, BOSAN, and all senior advocates of Nigeria who are here to honor our colleague, a shining light, a beloved friend, Professor Chief Mike Ozekhome, CON, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We are doing a collective launching, or is it presentation, for 10 million naira.
Thank you very much, sir. It's time for us to invite our dignitaries to return to their seats, please, so that we can invite all the launchers up here.
Please let's make welcome the Dean of Agbo, His Royal Majesty, for his goodwill message on behalf of all the traditional rulers that we have today. Your Royal Majesty.
Respectfully, all protocols duly observed, although I must, as a must, say hello to my wonderful mommy, Dame Patience Jonathan. You're very, very welcome. I must, of course, recognize my wonderful lawyers here, all present. My two fathers, especially Daddy Obasanjo, you're very, very welcome. Barrister Ozekhome, what can we say? A wonderful man, a light to us all, and somebody that I've admired for quite some time. From the Southern Nigeria Traditional Rulers Council, and from all the traditional rulers here present, I'd like to thank you for the continuous example that you keep giving us. And from all of us here as Nigerians, we say to the judiciary, stand up and give us justice. Thank you, and God bless you all.
The chairman of the occasion and our own dear daddy, President Obasanjo, the co-chair, President Jonathan, and Dame Jonathan, let me very respectfully stand on all due and existing protocols. As directed by Governor Jang, my senior brother, let me most sincerely congratulate Professor Mike Ozekhome today as he celebrates his 67th birthday. I use the occasion to urge him not to relent in your efforts and contribution in building a better society. As society, our country today needs effort of all, so we do not bequeath our children anarchy and a third place. So, Mike Ozekhome, I urge you to continue in your contribution and urge all of us to do similar. May God Almighty, who has been with you all this while, and seeing your goodness, continue to bless you, grant you many more healthy, fruitful, and happy years, and continue to bless you and your family and our dear country, Nigeria, always. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. So, very quickly, may I respectfully call on Senator Francis Alemikena. He will be speaking for and on behalf of the former senators and present senators. Once a senator, always a senator. And he will also be presenting these wonderful books that have been launched today. Distinguished Senator, sir.
Your Excellency, the co-chair, all protocol duly observed. I stand on behalf of all the senators present here, savvy and non-savvy, to wish my brother, Professor Abu Ozekhome, the great boy of Ukwe, happy birthday. Much has been said about Ozekhome. I don't want to say much about him again because he's a workaholic, he's a good dancer, he's a playboy, he's a great man. The Akpakpa Vigi Vigi of the universe. No more Akpakpa Vigi Vigi of Edo State, but it's now Akpakpa Vigi Vigi of the universe. May God bless you and give you strong and everything you wish yourself. Now you are celebrating 67 with 50 books now. By the time you'll be celebrating 70, you will add another 70 books. May good Lord give you the wisdom to always call us. And we are proud to be associated with you. You are a good man. God bless you and your family.
Our very distinguished Senator Francis Ali McKenna has spoken. We thank you, sir. He's no longer holding that title down only in his community. He's now holding that title for the whole of Nigeria. Time now for me to invite entrepreneur, social engineer, hardworking businesswoman, my sister and wife to my brother, the very beautiful Mrs. Aisha Chimugu, as she makes her way to the podium. Let's encourage her. It's a long walk. Keep clapping, please.
Good evening, everyone. Excellencies, the co-chairman. All duly protocol observed. I stand here on behalf of my family to congratulate the celebrant and to wish him many, many more years and many more books to launch. As a private entrepreneur and the wife of my the wife of the brother to my sister, I would do my personal donation quietly, but I would, on behalf of my children, I will launch the book with 10 million.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Achimugu has done the Achimugu family proud.
You hold his hand, family. Yeah. What number am I? Now 40, 45, 55, 65, 60. Oh, no. I'm 66. 67. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
ṣeun rere, bàbá mi máa ṣeun rere, ìyá mi máa ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Ìyá wa ò ṣeun rere, bàbá mi máa ṣeun rere, ìyá mi máa ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí á dára o. Ìyá mi máa ṣeun rere, gbàdúrà fún mi. Bàbá mi máa ṣeun rere, gbàdúrà fún mi. Tọ́mọdé bá wùrà burúkú wọn ní ọ̀rẹ́ ló kàn. Tọ́mọdé bá wùrà burúkú wọn ní bàbá rẹ̀ ló kàn.
Ọmọ pupa o, ọmọ pupa yẹn mi fẹ́. Ọmọ pupa o, jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ràn rẹ o. Ọmọ pupa o, ọmọ pupa yẹn mi fẹ́. Ọmọ pupa o, jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ràn. Ọmọ pupa o, ọmọ pupa yẹn mi fẹ́. Ọmọ pupa o, jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ràn. Ọmọ pupa o, ọmọ pupa o. Ọmọ pupa èmi fẹ́, ọmọ pupa o, jọ̀wọ́ mo fẹ́ràn rẹ. Anágbáwo rẹ̀ kò sí iye, anágbáwo rẹ̀ kò sí ìwà. Èpè náà tẹ́tẹ́ o, òun rẹ̀ wò gẹ́gẹ́, ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn rẹ̀ wò gbọ́sẹ̀rẹ̀ o. Kò sí iye, kò sí iye, iye. Kò sí iye, kò sí iye.
Thank you so much, the very wonderful Shine Band, for that wonderful rendition. We will just allow the family of the celebrant to take this picture. We are going to have a proper time for picture taking, but very quickly, the chairman of the occasion, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has instructed that it's about time for the celebrant to speak to us, to give his vote of thanks at this very auspicious occasion. Okay. Please, no, speak.
Yeah, thank you very much, Habib Akorede. Today is the day that the Lord has made. And we are glad in it, and we rejoice in it. I just don't know where to start from. It is only God that knows the end from the beginning. No man does. I sat down there and reminisced over my life. I said, that little village boy, born to poor, illiterate farmers in the village, who must go to farm in the morning or go and fetch water before going to school. And when he returns from school, they will tell him his food had been taken to the farm, which was another way of saying return to the farm. I will end up taking my breakfast around 3 to 4 p.m. That same man standing here till today does not know how to take breakfast because of that hard upbringing. Then I reminiscence to say, am I the same person who could pull out two giant former presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? When President Jonathan once told us that his humble beginning meant that he did not even have shoes to put on at the age of 10. I told him, I said, sir, you were lucky. Your problem was shoes. At the age of 10, we were still running about the village naked because we could not put on pants. So he was even luckier than me. But that two of the greatest presidents that Nigeria has ever had, in terms of everything, nation building, infrastructural development, human capacity building, in terms of sheer humanity, empathy, that I could pull them out, is what the Igbos call Ijele, the big masquerades. Not only was Obasanjo president for 8 years between 1999 and 2007, he was also a military president who took over from General Murtala Mohammed in February 1976 after he was assassinated. It was him who midwifed the 1979 constitution that we used till the military purge of December 31, 1983 by General Muhammadu Buhari. But he again came back to become president of this country because the people believed he did well, even as a military head of state. So we should give him another chance. And he did very well, extremely well, exceedingly well. Then sitting by him, President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, like Baba OBJ, I call him OBJ. A man whose singular statement during the 2015 elections, when votes were still being counted and a winner had not been declared, he called General Muhammadu Buhari and said, congratulations. In spite of the fact that many of his acolytes, his associates, were saying, no, don't do so, he told them, and he made this statement that has entrenched him into the pantheon of great historic figures. People like Abraham Lincoln, who once declared during his Gettysburg speech on 18th of November, 1863, that democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. President Jonathan said, my ambition is not worth the drop of blood of any Nigerian. I don't want any disturbance here. That statement, sir, entrench you into the pantheon of heroes like General President Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, and PhD, a man who, after leaving presidency, went for his PhD and got it by thesis. So I can't thank God enough that this is happening in my presence. I'm not dead. Mama Peace that is sitting down there, that's what we call her popularly Mama Peace. Mama P. Thank you, Ma. Mother of the nation. Thank you, Ma, for being there for everyone, for everybody. We know the role you played in this country, and we knew how they came after you, even when you had not done anything wrong. I'm happy that I was there to lead frontally your defense, and I thank God that everything has been resolved. What can I say about Okute, Peter Obi, the rock, that Jesus Christ Jesus Christ himself built his church on it. Go and look at Matthew. Say, thou art Peter, and you are the rock. And upon this rock, I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against you. I will give you the key to the kingdom of heaven, so that whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Is there? And that Peter became actually St. Peter as the first Roman Pope. We now have 266 popes. That Peter sitting down there was Pope number 1. And you know why I like the Catholic Church, which I want many of you to just quietly come into. It is the only church that was built by Christ himself directly, and it possesses 4 qualities. The Catholic Church is holy, it is one, it is universal, and it is apostolic. His Excellency, Governor, Senator Jonah Jang is there. Another man, a man who left office poorer than he was when he got there. He had to take a loan of 150 million naira to build a house in Abuja. And he was paying the loan back gradually as a governor. He didn't finish it until he became a senator. Yet, they came after him. And I took up the challenge, and I beat them with bare knuckles. And got him discharged and acquitted of 37 counts. God bless you, sir, for always being there for me. The man sitting there wearing a red cap, handsome bobo, I call him Uche Boy. My classmate, one of the best legal minds we have had in this country. A courtroom gladiator. I thank you. My elder brother there, Chief Mike Ozekhome, Okakagbe, the former deputy governor of Edo State, and former chief of staff to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He's my brother, and he has always been there for me. I thank you, sir. Let me greet my elder brother, Senator Francis Ozekhome Alimikena, 2-time senator representing Edo North. He's here with us. I want to thank you, sir, for always playing the role of a father figure to me. I'm seeing Tony Akiotu there, GMD of Dire Communication, ageless, handsome. Thank you. Now, let me see this side. Who am I to bring the creme de la creme of first-class traditional rulers in Nigeria here? And they are all here. Representatives of the Oba of Benin are here. Representative of the Sultan of Sokoto is here. The Dane of Agbo is here. His Royal Majesty, Luomanya, a great, one of the leading traditional rulers in Nigeria, is here with us. The king of this community in Rivers State. Has he gone? No, not that one. That's him. The king of Eleme in Rivers State is here with us. Give him a round of applause. And the king of Finima, all the way from Finima, they don't have land. They have to either fly from their village or go by boat. But I think in coming here, he swam. He actually swam. My son here, Dr. Dumebi Kachiku, he was 10 years old when I served as best man to Dr. Professor Ibe Kachiku in 1984. And I remember during the wedding, he was running around. And I drew him nearer and gave him a knock on the head. But you can see that is the young man who came here and started the launching with 100 million naira. 2 million naira per book. And you may wonder, can he do it? Go and take note of my chambers. What transformation he brought to it. He just came one day and said, Dad, this place doesn't befit you. Let me show it off for you. And that was it. And I started seeing things changing. I want to thank you. Where's Yegbo? Obi Kubana. Where is he? Obi Kubana. That's another son of mine. I won't tell you publicly what this young man has done for me again, again, and again. I thank you. Where is Professor Ikimalo, my cousin, and is my teacher forever? He taught me all the things, both bad and good, but more of the good. He has arguably the best private hospital in Port Harcourt, where you can do IVH, everything, with lift going up into the... And guess what? He's a specialist in gynecology and obstetrics. And I told him, we lawyers are very proud, I know. But when I die, if there's anything called reincarnation, I would become a medical doctor. He asked me why. I said, simple. You are so privileged in your profession that you are the only one a man will come with his wife and you will tell him to wait for you outside. The man will wait outside. You will render the wife naked. You will examine her. And then when you finish, you give the man a bill to pay. So you can't have a profession that is more privileged. I mean, whosoever you are, once you are sick, in fact, when they want to remove your clothes, you say remove them quickly. I thank you, sir, for playing the role of a godfather for me. I can see my elder brother here, Chief Senator Oyofo, who was a two-time senator representing Edo North. Before then, he was an oil magnate, one of the first people to strike oil, deal with oil, and use it effectively for the nation. Thank you, sir, for being here. Although I cannot call everybody, but Gregosu is there, and he is the president of Isako Club 81, our early club. Dr. Aisha Achimugu, she was abroad and she told me I will come. I thought she was joking. She still came here. Thank you. Hajia Bola Shagaya, I want to thank you. My club, Usagbe Club of Nigeria, where I was president in the year 2000 to 2002, they are here. A former president is here, Sir Paul Izenua. I want to thank you. And I want to thank all my in-laws here. Dr. Onyechi, the proprietor of Abuja Clinics. And the other in-law, Mr. Famure, who has just retired as chief accountant in Port Harcourt, River State. I cannot thank all of you enough that this my son here, where is Susilama? Where's Susilama? Is carrying one of my, this my fifth grandchild. And this is the father. And he married a young lady from Onitsha. People say, Are you not discriminatory as saying me? I can never. We are all Nigerians. By marrying the young lady who is a lawyer, this village boy is now a family of 8 lawyers and 2 medical doctors. So God could not have blessed anyone more than me. I'm a story of Lamentations 3:37. Who is he that speaketh, and it cometh to pass, if the Lord has not commanded it? I am a story of Romans 9:15, where he told us, I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy, and I will show compassion on whom I will show compassion. It's not he that willeth or he that runneth, but it's God that showeth mercy. I am that story of Genesis 18:15, reciprocated in Jeremiah 32:27. Behold, I'm the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me to do? I am a story that made me know that there's nothing that God cannot do. Anything he cannot do does not exist. Anything God cannot do does not exist. Take that from me. He has made me Psalm 105 verse 15. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. That is why I knock down all my opponents in every case I handle, because I put God first. So I want to thank all of you. This is my beautiful wife, taking care of me and the entire family. She's the greatest thing to have happened to my life. I call her my girlfriend. I call her my soulmate. I call her my confidant. I call her my sister. But most importantly, I call her my mother, because she does all of them rolled into one. And this is my handsome son, a carbon copy, born in 1978. The first lawyer from me, after me and my wife, is the third lawyer in my family. And the way he has been able to organize the children together, I want to thank you, Ilubeka John Mike Ozekhome Esquire. Ushoze Mike Ozekhome, first daughter, barrister at law. Thank you for holding the guys together. Dr. Esizaze Mike Ozekhome. Okute, thank you very much. Dr. Esizaze Mike Ozekhome family. Okute Peter the Rock was present last November when she wedded. The husband, Damilola, who has become my son also. Family, he came yesterday, and I told him if you didn't come, I would have flogged you or the bare buttocks from London. I want to thank you, and they are living very well, and I'm proud of them. Next is Oshoma. That is the Michael. That is the Mike Ozekhome of the family. Full of glamour, panache. He has style. He has gravitas. Ever sartorial and ever gregarious. Before I forget, I do not know whether he's still here. Uzochukwu Stanley. People call him popularly Stanel. Stanel is my son. In fact, we call him son one within my family, even though he's an Igbo. That is one of the young men that drives my engine. I want to thank him, whether he's here now or not. Help me send it to him. My next person Have you noticed one thing? That apart from my first son, that all the other boys are yellow purple like their mother. Why the girls, they have my color. One of them is not here now. Now, this is Usilama Mike Ozekhome, 8 years at the bar. And it's my handbag, my PA, my secretary, everything. At times, by 4 a.m., we are walking. 4 a.m., I tell you, you can't go to bed. We walk. This is Ngozi Omosumi Usilama Mike Ozekhome. That's the beautiful wife that he married from Onitsha, the daughter of Dr. Onyechi, Dr. and Mrs. Onyechi. And they have this beautiful Ikpabusi, meaning the power of God. Well, who is the other one? Where's? Yeah. The second to the last, Eseogena Mike Ozekhome is not here today, unavoidably absent. But this is the last born of the family, an American citizen, the biggest and the tallest in the family, but the last born. Usikweme Mike Ozekhome is also a lawyer. So, with this kind of blessings, how can I not look at Ambassador Anegbe there to say, I thank you? How can I not look at Chief Oseni Elama, the Okayuru of Benin Kingdom, to say, I thank you? How can I not look at Chief Roland Otaru, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the one who cleared the path for all of us to pass through? He was the first Senior Advocate of Nigeria from Edo North. Before then, the senior advocates were always coming from Benin and from Ishan land. But since he cleared the way, I can tell you Edo North today has twice the number of senior advocates of Nigeria, more than any of the other ethnic group. Now, Chief Wole Olanikpekun, Commander of the Federal Republic and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a man that has conquered the legal world, a man that has become an oracle of the law, a man that has shown me so much love since we met. God bless you, sir, for all you do, and to review 50 books in 15 minutes. You are a wonder. So I want to thank all of you, all the kings that came all the way. None of them asked me for one kobo, none. Rather, some of them are even contributing to my books. So nobody can be more blessed than me. Nobody. OBJ, like I wrote about you some months ago, continue to remain OBJ. Don't change. It's too late for an old man to become left-handed. Continue to fire from all cylinders under your watch, because your name will be remembered by generations yet unborn, that your case was one of winning, witty, witty. You came, you saw, you conquered. So I want to thank all of you that I cannot see from here. I cannot see you from here because it's far. People like Gideon Egbechilon, I still caught you. Chief Richard Okozi, who is ever there for me. I cannot thank Pastor Osazuwa, who came all the way from Benin and who led the opening prayers today. But as I go to my seat, it is now we are going to eat. We wanted to do all these formalities. We have a 3-course meal. And by the grace of God, the 2 presidents will lead us. And Okute, Peter Obi, will be trying to run away. I held him down. He must eat before he goes, because if you don't eat my food, it means you don't take me as your friend or brother. And while we are going to eat, let me remind you of 1 Timothy 5:23. Because I've been seeing many of you drinking ordinary water. That scripture tells, so he said, do not just drink ordinary water. It is not good for your stomach. Take a little wine. It will cure you of all your infirmities. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you all. Let's take picture.
As the picture begins to roll forward of the family of the effervescent and ebullient gentleman who has invited us all here today, it is time for us to call. I see Mr. Chairman making his way. Mr. Chairman, sir, are we taking the national anthem now, or you are delivering the chairman's closing? Mr. Chairman will so instruct. Habib.
Take the photograph of the family with the cake, and then I take over. All right? Okay. You can go and sit down. Can we have whoever will give us the closing prayer? We will have the closing prayer, and then after the closing prayer, you will continue to eat, and the music will be going on. And anytime you have finished your food and you want to eat, go home, you can sneak out and go home. And the music will continue till daybreak. Thank you very much for coming. See you next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Would ask the traditional group to please wait a little. We'll take them when we're eating. The chairman